Hey guys, King of Charmass here, to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the most powerful team, the best top team for Open Ultra League. And seeing as Season 11 doesn't have any changes to it, Season 10 is literally the same freaking meta as is Open Ultra League, unless you followed the meta like I have for Open Ultra League for so long. Of course, we're going to have a stupid Ice Walrus in front of it. It also features Talonflame XL and Giratina Altered. Technically, this is a double save switch team, but generally, Talonflame's probably going to be your save switch because of the fact you can break shields, come out with Shield Revenge, and possibly come out with a W. Or you can use Giratina Altered. It's really up to you. As you see for Open Ultra League, this uses the Shadow Claw version of Giratina. Literally, the other variation of Giratina Altered is also a top team. So the top two themes, these are literally the top two themes just featuring Giratina Altered with Shadow Claw instead of Dragon Breath. Dragon Breath Giratina Altered has a better matchup against Obstagoon as well as anything that essentially resists Shadow Claw. But as you see, the number one team has Shadow Claw in it with a 1.0 usage, which means some person did Dragon Breath, broken Dragon Breath, and multiple people broke in this version. So it is the most powerful team statistically with 611. To keep in mind, 611 is a pretty crazy rating. So make sure that's anything over 600 is godforsakenly broken. Well, not godforsakenly broken, but it's really freaking strong. As you see here, amazing, great stats across the board, amazing coverage, great grades. The only thing that will give you a huge problem in this team is just basically Registeel. Registeel XL with Zap Cannon, it does really well against his entire team. However, Walrein can pressure with Earthquake. So you could pressure with Earthquake, and then after that, you can send in Giratina Altered, or sack Walrein lead, and then have Giratina Altered go against it. Talonflame also doesn't have Walrein does have a bad match against Talonflame. There's a lot of things that Walrein can do, which is why the Walrein Trevenant core can combine to be really strong. However, despite the fact that you see a lot of those O's in the lead with Walrein, this team is number one for a reason. When you go against data, it is a ton of battles. So that means out of all the sample size of all the possible combinations you can go against, this team reigns supreme with a 611 rating. Extremely strong, extremely powerful. And if you do have a Talonflame XL, there was a community day for it. Giratina Alter has been on plenty of raids. And of course, we recently just had Walrein Community Day. So you should have this team set up already. Or if not, you can go to Ultra Premier Classic, which if you hate legendaries to begin with, Ultra Premier Classic is your jam. But before we get started, this will be my mental health tip for the day. So speaking of Ice Walruses, the thing about it is, you should, before you go to bed, make sure you keep your temperature cool. Yes, that's not a joke. If your room is cooler, you actually fall asleep faster and you get a good night's sleep. I will typically keep the thermostat like in the morning, I'll bump it up to like 70 degrees or a little above 70, and then I'll keep it off the entire time and let my apartment cool down to where by the time I go to bed, it's like the ideal temperature, I believe, for like sleep is around like 65 to like 70, something like that. I don't know, you can look it up, it's different for every human being, but yes, it's generally in like the 60s. I think my sweet spot's like 68 degrees, 68, 67, 65 to 68 degrees. That's where I fall asleep the fastest. So I put on my Calm app, I put on my Calm app, and then within like, I would say like I close my eyes, and I would say like in 2 minutes, me personally, because I was able to fix my sleep schedule, is I am out. If it's really hot in your room, you're going to wake up a lot because your body gets really uncomfortable. So what you need to do is lower when you go to sleep, your body's core temperature actually lowers. So again, keep your room cool, and you might actually find yourself falling asleep faster. That's my mental health tip for the day, because good sleep means your body recovers, does wonders for your health in general. So yes, make sure y'all get plenty of sleep, keep your room cool, and so you can go to sleep faster. And then hotels are great for this because you got that AC going on. Love it, and it just stays there. So yes, that is my mental health tip for the day, and I feature to you the best Ultra League team the best team for Open Ultra League basically. And yeah, if you don't like this league, you go Ultra Premier Classic. But without further ado, let's get started. Alright, here are the battles. So these are actually pretty nuts. One of them's really nuts, but because it's Open Ultra League and there's a ton of Pokemons, expect very long shoutcasts. So I'm gonna do this the best I can to entertain y'all. And we are getting this little thick dragon is literally breathing down our necks. We win the lead. It is Giratina Altered into Walrein. And of course, Walrein is pretty damn broken because of the fact Powder Snow and Weather Ball are not really Weather Ball. Icicle Spear. I call it Weather Ball because it's literally same energy, but it's a Body Slam clone. So we're going to get Ancient Powered. Some Giratina Altereds are carrying Ancient Power, and by God, if they boost, GG's. But as you see here, they don't boost, thankfully. So we're able to grab both shields, which my brain is kind of like, why? And then they swap into Muck. Unfortunately, they aren't able to catch the Icicle Spear, and we're going to send this Magnitude 69420 Earthquake up below the floor of this Muck, and we got 2 shields. I'm going to send in Talonflame. I wanted to catch a Dark Pulse on purpose if I could get one, because I want to farm down. I can farm down this Amok, and then I have a bazillion energy to throw at whatever's in the back. Giratina is probably going to come in, but I'm going to burp it. I'm going to hit you with my Suburban. It's not a Tesla, but you know what? It's perfectly fine. Well, technically, a Tesla's an electric car, so Tesla would be more related to a wild charge, right? I don't know. I don't do cars too much, so then if you can correct me and you think whatever car model it is, you can put it in the comments. But as you see here, we're going to get blasted by this Ancient Power, and it will KO. I'm going to send in Wall Rain to farm down Giratina, and whatever's in the back is pretty much screwed. We have Togekiss, and then I'm like, oh, this is really bad because I have Giratina Alter in the back, but I have 2 shields. Not only that, I'm going to stay in, and hopefully I can get to a second Icicle Spear. And as you see here, I do get to a second Icicle Spear with 2 shields. So, I absolutely dominate my opponent, and this is how overpowered this Walrus is. Our opponent is using a very meta team back in the day. Unfortunately, Trevenant Walrein runs the meta, and it's incredibly powerful. As you see here, absolutely dominating match. Yes, we won the lead, but because of Walrein's charge move pressure, it's absolutely goated for Open Ultra League and even in Ultra Premier Classic. And we see a Venusaur, and my brain is like, what are you doing using a Venusaur in Open Ultra League? And I'm like, okay, they're probably accidentally rolled into Open Ultra League, but at the same time, you can also see Walreins in Ultra Premier Classic. So my brain is I'm just kind of scratching my head a little bit. I'm like, this is very strange. But as you see here, I will shield all the Frenzy Plants. They did lag a little bit in the beginning, but it doesn't even necessarily matter because I outpaced Venusaur anyways. So you're either going to have to expend both of your shields or this is GG. So even if you did miss a few fast moves, I still would have been able to farm you down, and it still would have been GG's because Walrein has such a positive matchup against Venusaur. Frenzy Plant goes off, I will spend my second shield, I will farm down his Venusaur, and we're going to be prepared at whatever the hell gets thrown us in back, and it's a Charizard. As much as I love Charizard, I'm like, this is definitely some Ultra Premier Classic team because you ain't going to see Charizard in Open Ultra. Well, you used to see it before, but like in nowadays, nah, unless you're really strapped for Stardust. So my brain's kind of like subconsciously calculating. I'm like, what if this guy has a 3rd Pokemon in the back that's like Legacy move? If you had to guess, you're probably using Swampert. So as you see, I get Dragon Claw. I don't know why, because Blast Burn's the answer. As you see here, I'm going to go for the second Icicle Spear. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in Giratina Altered. I'm going to Shadow Claw down. That way I have energy advantage, and we're going to come out with hopefully, like, if it's Swampert, I'm right. But as you see here, it is an actual Swampert, which is actually terrible for us because of the fact that Swampert does really well against Talonflame, especially when you have an energy lead. Fun fact, Swampert wins the closer against Giratina Altered straight Earthquake. I'm hoping my opponent doesn't know that and just top lefts because it's still really rough. Yes, I have a sack, but at the same time, this Swampert will severely outpace me to any of my charge moves with Talonflame. So it's very rough. If they overcharge, they could possibly come up with a W, and then instead they decide to just GG's top left, and I'm like, thank you, God. I still would have been good, though. I think you could survive one Hydro Cannon with Talonflame, so I think I was okay. But still, I don't think they were, unless they were trying to survive in Open Ultra League, yeah, not the best idea, but even then, Venusaur, even though it's good, it isn't as great as it used to be, especially in the lead. Speaking of leads, we have a very interesting matchup here. Technically, Abomasnow can flip this matchup if I get Energy Balled and if they bait. So guess what happens to King of Charmanders in this one? Yeah, so anyways, as you see here, we're going to fire the Icicle Spear. It's going to hit these really pointy thingies. I'm going to throw them at your face. Abomasnow is mighty, and you should vote for Abomasnow if the next election comes out. Make sure you put on your ballot Abomasnow. Actually, that's a good idea. I should probably do that. Just to say I voted, and then I'm going to go to other, and then instead of like Mickey Mouse or whatever, I'm going to put Abomasnow and just make it, it'll be absolutely hilarious. But I'm apolitical, so I don't dig with politics that much. I served 7 years in the United States Air Force. I did my time. So before, I let my country do its thing, and yeah. But as you see here, remember what I told you? What if they get an energy ball 2 shields? Well, guess what? I got balled. They ball out. They hit the 3-pointer Steph Curry from the logo, and I'm like, I'm down a shield, and they can farm me at this point. So my brain is like, okay, I'm in a whole lot of trouble. They send in Talonflame, and they're gonna try to farm me down. I'm trying to time everything correctly so that I can get to 2 Icicle Spears. So this isn't over yet. My opponent made a good play, and now I'm just gonna Icicle Spear, hopefully double Icicle Spear, as you see here, and I'm able to get to 2. The problem is, this Talonflame has a bazillion energy. It already has enough energy to, I would say, have 80 energy, so yeah, I'm kind of in a lot of trouble here. I'm gonna shield whatever comes in. This is probably gonna be a Flame Charge, and I was correct, so I definitely should have eaten that. Now I'm gonna get hit by a Burb with +2, so I'm in a whole lot of trouble. And I'm really hoping that I have an answer for whatever's in the back. If I do not, this is totally GG's. Berry Bird goes through, Shadow goes through, should KO, and it happens to be a Zapdos. And my brain is like, oh my god, okay, so there might be an actual win condition here. As you see here, we're gonna fire all these Dragon Claws. I'm gonna try to get as many shields as I can. I am trying to run the timer because I want my Switch Clock to be up because in order for me to win this, I need a sack. That's my literal win condition. So, as you see here, I'm gonna go for the Dragon Claws. They're probably gonna get to a move, and I don't know why they fired because you should be at Drill Peck, but I think they're trying to overcharge. My opponent overcharges, we grab the second shield, and then this is a Drill Peck for sure. And so, my only win condition is a sack swap, but you know, with subconscious ability, and because I am so damn good at this game, as you see here, 1, 2, I will stop tapping for 2 fast moves, and I will perfectly sack. Let's freaking go, baby! That was awesome! I stopped tapping with a 5-turn move. We take out the Incinerate, and we are able to take our opponent. And then what happens after this kind of like blows my mind. I tried to fire, but apparently they swapped in. So what swapped in took the damage. And there's no way this is Thunderbolt. This is likely a Drill Peck. Drill Peck goes off. I hit the Brave Bird, and this is GG's. That was a crazy sack, and that was a weird visual glitch right there. But again, they wanted to like send in so they could get hit by the Incinerate. But in the end, it doesn't even matter. You tried so hard and got so far, but with a sack swap, and because I'm freaking amazing at this game, I love my subconscious mind. When it's a 5-turn fast move, you have to stop attacking, and you have to kind of count perfectly, and that's what happens there. You have a split second to do the sack, because your opponent still has to tap on the charge move. So that's how, well, and that is absolute zen, my friend. So wait for that video to come out, and you too will maybe know the ways of sacking with a clear mind. If you are anxious and you're like, I feel it, but you're like clearly anxious or you have anxiety, that's not a clear mind. You are anxious. That is not absolute zen. As you see, we got Clefable into Walrein, and it is just eating all of these Icicle Spears. I have very pointy spears, and I'm just gonna throw it at this unhellishly. I hate Charmers. So as you see, Clefable goes through, we're getting Mirror Match down, and that Clefable is definitely an XL. We get a Kingdra through, and my brain is like, why do you have a Kingdra in Open Ultra League? And I'm like, oh, this might be another soul that accidentally went into Open Ultra League, unless you are actually using this team for, this looks like an Ultra Premier Classic team. Not an Open Ultra League team. As you see, I don't know why they shield the first one, but an Icicle Spear goes through, and I should be able to get to another one. Get to a second Icicle Spear. My idea is I'm going to give up Swap, and I'm going to send in Giratina Alter because they gave up Swap first. I kind of want to just like Shadow Claw down. Attempts to Shadow Claw down, I will shield this move because I'm like, you have enough for an Earthquake. I don't want to take Earthquake damage. They can't hit me with 2 Octazookas even if they wanted to. So as you see, they go for the Earthquake. I'm going to be able to Shadow Claw down, and I have a bazillion energy left over. We've got a Dragon Claw and a half, and we get the Clefable through. I fire Dragon Claw, this should break the shield, and I'm gonna just double up on Dragon Claw, and I'm gonna get a little more energy. The play should be for me to Shadow Sneak at this point. However, regardless of what happens, this is going, I want to have just a little bit of farm. Dragon Claw's gonna go through, I will eat one more charm, but that's perfectly fine. As you see here, 2 Dragon Claws worth of energy. We still have 3 Mons, I still have a Sack Swap, and we get a freaking Heatran, and my brain is like, no, that is not an, wait, a Heatran? And my brain is just kind of like trying to register. I'm like, it's a freaking Heatran, bro. What are you, heat, wait, what? I'm just so lost right now. And I'm just like, okay, you know, I'm just gonna, Iron doesn't kill. That's Fire Fang. Fire Fang's resisted. all I'm going to do is Shadow Sneak here. I'm going to send in Talonflame, and hopefully they top left and save us some time, because it's totally GG's. Send in Talonflame right here. All I'm going to do is Incinerate down, and then as you see, my opponent does top left, and that's GG's. Very interesting matchup, or a very interesting team in general. I was like, wait, I was like, what? Is that a Heatran? And then my brain was like, I was just like, what do I do? Like, my brain like blanked out for a bit, and I was like, I have no idea what to do. Anyways, for the 5th and final battle, we got Rollrain into Empoleon. This was a very sweet match. So this isn't actually a bad matchup by my opponent because of the fact that Icicle Spear is double resisted, and they might have they have Drill Peck. Unless they make a mistake and they don't have Drill Peck, they have Blizzard. So as you see here, it happens to be Hydro Cannon, which means they do not have Drill Peck. I lagged for a little bit here, and I'm going straight for the Earthquake. I got really big coconuts, bro. These, below my waist, are in fact very, very large. And the Earthquake goes through. The Magtine 620, 69, 420 Earthquake goes through. I will be able to eat this Hydro Cannon, even if it was a Drill Peck at this point. I can still tank it, because Walrein has plenty of HP. All I'm going to do is farm this thing down, and then I'm already vibing, bro. I have a hella huge advantage. So, what you gonna do? I have a lot of energy left over, so I'll be able to find Icicle Spear, maybe a possible Earthquake, and we get a Togekiss, and this is perfect because I'm able to fire this Icicle Spear. Maybe I can get to a second one if I'm lucky. As you see here, we do get to the second one, and I do! That Charm will go through, however, this Ice Spear will go off, and it's gonna do a ton of damage to this Togekiss. Togekiss takes half its HP. All I gotta do is send in Talonflame, and then we're just vibing. We got Shield Advantage too, so we're doing a lot of work here. As you see, I'm hoping that I do get some Incinerates through, and then I fire my Flame Charge. Unfortunately, I'm not on the right interval, and a fire and Aerial Ace. I just got jebaited super hard. And then, all I'm going to do is I'm going to undercharge Flame Charge. I'm going to undercharge it, get some extra energy because it's going to be one shot away, and as you see here, and they just quit out because that's GG's. They probably had something in the back that's weak. They didn't want to know my back row, but as you see, this team does stand as the most powerful Open Ultra League team, and it's still really freaking good. And that's GG's. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. That sack was one of the best sacks I've heard. I'm really good at, I'm getting a lot better because like for 5-turn moves, and I'm going to do this for like my PvP class series or whatever. One of the like stopping for long moves like that, or just having that timing, it takes a lot of practice. I don't think about it. I'm just like, okay, my timing is right, and then I've gotten used to it now, so I'm getting better at that. So even if you've been playing the game for a long time like me, like, you still have stuff you can improve in. The great thing about it, there's really nothing that sets you up. There's really, if you're already a legend, you can beat everyone on the damn leaderboard. The leaderboard doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. I mean, the fact that I stopped playing for leaderboard because I don't have time to sit in a queue for 2 hours. I'm a therapist, for crying out loud. I got a lot of stuff to do on the offhand, a lot of other work to do. So, with that being said, don't worry about it. There's always things to practice and improve. God knows how many people on that leaderboard I've beaten, and including you. So anybody, yeah, y'all are good. Don't worry about it too much. But this is the most powerful team for Open Ultra League as of right now, because there weren't any changes for Season 11. And unless it's Registeel XL, but you're probably not going to see a lot of those running around. And I actually didn't finish all the rating for mine, so I won't have one to use. But if you guys do have a Registeel XL built and you want to be featured in one of my Shoutcast vids, join my Discord and let me know, and then we can talk. But I appreciate you guys. Do me a huge favor. Please like and subscribe. It's totally free. Help me out with the YouTube algorithm. And you can easily subscribe by putting your mouse to the bottom right. Put your mouse over that box. Subtitle pop up. Boom. Easy subscription. Really appreciate my current subscribers. Good luck in your Go Battle League sets. And I will see you guys on the next video.